Cartel, my people, my babies, my dogs. What's going on, y'all boys, man? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Golden Ghost, so welcome back to the Golden Ghost Cartel. Today, we're going to be talking about some more Tekken 8. And no, this ain't what you guys think it is. I'm not here to slander Tekken 8. I'm not here to talk about Season 2. I'm not here to talk about the current Tekken talk that happened, or even the things that's currently happening with the game. I'm here to talk about a video I made regarding Tekken 8 and why I need to go ahead and take accountability for this. Now, in the beginning, let's dial it all the way back to when Tekken times were good. I'm talking about the beta test, bro. The beta test for Tekken 8 before release, in my opinion, was the best time to play some Tekken 8, bro. That's when the game was at its most fun, at least for me. For me, the game was at its most fun during the beta. The beta, I dumped in crazy hours. During this time, with everything being shown off, with the combos and everything, I made a video because I seen a couple of things and noticed a couple of things. One thing about me is I recognize patterns. I'm really into recognizing patterns with certain things, especially with this company, with Bandai Namco. I'm a Bandai Namco player, bro. I've been playing Bandai Namco games for a long time. That includes the anime games, that includes the Dark Souls, that includes the Elden Ring, and that includes Tekken as well. I've been playing these games for a minute. I kind of noticed the patterns that was going on between DOA and the Tekken 8 thing that I seen, and with Chimbori also being a producer, it also led me to believe that this was basically the Tekken for DOA players, you know, the Tekken that is for DOA, which led to the birth of this video right here. How DOA 6 became the foundation for Tekken 8's new mechanics. This is probably one of my more viewed videos. The only DOA videos I have that come close to this in views is my DOA Primetime series. And at the time, I was really happy with this video. At the time, I was really into it because I was really enjoying Tekken 8. I was really just trying to pinpoint similarities and stuff like that. But as time went on, I learned that this is not just a new Tekken. I know now that this is not a Tekken 7. This is not a DOA. This is just Tekken 8. This is just Tekken branching off into Tekken 8 is branching away from other things, and it's really just trying to become its own game. It's really not trying to be like anything else we've seen before out of the series, and that doesn't go for DOA. But in spite of this, now we've gotten to a point where Tekken players, specifically the ones that were specifically loyalists, as in like they don't want to play nothing but Tekken. They don't want to play nothing but Tekken. They don't want to give DOA a try and stuff like that. They don't want to actually sit down and put some real hours into DOA. We got people like that saying that this is what happens when you put a DOA developer into the game. This is what happens with our game now. Now our game plays like DOA. And some of these even come from people I really bangs with. Like FeedEx is a big one, bro. I really enjoy FeedEx's content. I've been on record saying I really mess with FeedEx's content. But now we got to a point where people who primarily just play Tekken and only want to play Tekken are now saying that DOA essentially is the reason why the game is the way it is. Which, let me just be clear about something. I never have a problem if you only play one game and enjoy that. Like what you like, bro. I have no problem with you if you only play one game and you enjoy that one game and you don't want to play nothing else. It's when you starting to try to spread information about other games that you just don't know that much about. That's when I have a problem. Like, that's like me trying to give informative takes about Street Fighter, and I'm a DOA player. And it's not even to say like you gotta put in hundreds of hours. It's just the fact that like at least give it a chance if you're gonna speak on something. Like I've seen the wildest takes before when it comes to this game. You know, I've seen takes where people will say that the game sucks just because it has Venus Vacation. For whatever reason, the Twitter fighting game community, or fighting game community in general, for whatever reason, just has the belief in their head that the DOA fighting game doesn't exist and only the vacation games exist, bro, and the, for lack of a better term, the gooning aspects is the only parts of DOA that matters to people. And it's just like, bro, it is still a fighting game too at the end of the day. And now we've gotten to a point where the fighting game portion of DOA is now just being used as like the new bullet point as to why Tekken sucks, and that's just not the case, bro. Let's just do, for starters, Shimbori is a producer. He has no say over the main development of this game. None. The main influences that he has are clear: the stage hazards, the walls exploding, the stage interactions, the floor explosions, the floor breaks. Those are all Shimbori things. Those are all Shimbori things. Other things that I see from DOA: the flow. If you're on offense and you know what you're doing, you can put people in optimal flow. You know, the difference is between Tekken and DOA is that in DOA you're doing intricate things. On Tekken, you get a counter hit and you're instantly able to launch them. Like, say for example, Kazuya down forward 2 counter hit. You can hit them with a perfect electric, or you can just launch them, get into a bunch of free damage, set up into Oki for a plus on block, whatever. I haven't played Tekken in a minute, so I don't really know what Kazuya has beyond the combo. But I know he has Oki. I know he's a 50-50 demon with the hell sweep with the hell sweep combo, you know. DOA, yes, DOA does have 50-50s. DOA does have crazy Oki scenarios and stuff like that. You have to force tech them. You force tech them up and you're able to get them into nasty Oki situations. The difference is that DOA has holds, a universal mechanic. If you get counter hit on this game, you can still do a hold and counteract your opponent's next move. It's a universal parry that the entire cast has, and it's an integral part of playing defense in the game. It's an integral part of playing defense. You're not just cooked if you're getting stunned over and over again. And that's what separates it from one from the other, because even on the most basic level, like, that's not even coming from a pro player perspective. It's just me being like a casual tryhard at the game. At its most basic level, you can get out of every scenario. You can get out of damn near every scenario you get put in. It's just a matter of understanding how your opponent plays and getting the correct parry, understanding the mind games that come into play with DOA. Because that's what DOA is. Yes, it's rock, paper, scissors, but yes, it's rock, paper, scissors. Yes, it's casino. But the thing is, the whole thing is a mind game. If you understand your opponent's patterns, you can parry and you can beat your opponent without even pressing a button beyond the holes, bro. I've seen it happen before. You can just play defense the entire game and win off of just guarding and holding stuff and then throw punishing. That's where the difference is. You don't have to worry about being -20 on block every single time. You don't have to worry about that on defense. You don't have to sit here and worry about holding strings that have chip damage on it for 30 seconds plus before you can think about if you want to take your turn back or not. You don't have to worry about that. It's not all this crazy stuff that you have to hold. I can't believe that somebody said that when he was talking about guard breaks and 50-50s and how DOA was just responsible for that. Did you know that on DOA, certain guard breaks are negative as fuck on block? Here we are, DOA 5 last round. What a lot of people will consider to be the better out of the two, you know? This is my main character, Lisa. Lisa is going to do a quarter circle forward punch input. Guard break. However, I am -18 on block. That means you can be the slowest character in the game and you can do a throw punish. Now mind you, throw punishes are the optimal way to punish on DOA. If I do this and I'm mad unsafe, there's nothing I can do in that situation. And I say this to say because she does have a other guard break that's +2 on block. You know, she does have other guard breaks, but that's the thing about DOA. No guard break is meant the same, and no frames are meant the same either. I do that and I'm -5. It's only set +22 because he whiffed a low throw. But if I put this on a normal guard, I'm -8 right there. I do this for the back turn, it's -3. Oh, and let's talk about the counter hits. You can always hold out of the situation, bro. You can always hold out of the situation. Now, granted, the CPU kind of doing some nut stuff right now by not just holding right away. I want to see if I can make the hold faster. Look how fast that hold was. You can always get out of a situation no matter what, bro. The only time on DOA 5 you're not getting out of a situation is when you're getting mixed crazy, or you're fighting a Genfu who's putting you in a fucking stagger escape situation, in which you gotta know how to stagger escape in this game. But I say all this to say, man, that I messed up. I messed up by making this, bro, because now I feel responsible for the current takes now that are happening with Tekken currently, bro. There's only one real thing that I can say that DOA and Tekken are exactly related in, and that's in the absolute greed that's happening right now with the game, bro. You're seeing the stuff that they're dropping. They're dropping stuff that's right out of DOA's playbook, bro. With the coconut swimsuits, with the now just straight up swimsuit costumes. You got Lee in a Speedo. You got Lily with her cheeks pointed to the screen, you know. And that was the same type of corporate practices that you were seeing with DOA, where you had all this outcry from the players who was asking for certain changes, and instead of getting those certain changes, you were getting DLC resold to you, and you were getting overpriced costumes, bro. And what the nail on the final head for Koei Tecmo was when they started trying to charge you for changing your hair color. That was just next level, and that was the final straw that ended up with the EOS. Between there and the EOS, that was the last thing I heard of that really just cooked it, you know, after the world tour ended. The only difference between Bandai and Koei Tecmo in this scenario is that Bandai Namco has a lot more money to play around with, and they have a lot more players that are just going to sit there and buy the stuff anyway, which is why every time this stuff happens with the current state of the game, I always ask the players, when do we draw the line? When do we put our wallets back in our pocket? Because this company is doing nothing but screwing you over. And it's crazy because this is not even how this Tekken 8, they're not even doing Tekken 8 that bad compared to some of their other games. Ask Sparking Zero players how their game is doing right now. Like, their game is in shambles in comparison to this. And still to this day, I wonder why I got cooked on Twitter for saying that Guilty Gear does not need Bandai Namco under its wing. Because look at the way that it treats all of its games. All of its games. But I digress. I'm not here to complain about that. I've come to the conclusion, bro, that, and I've talked to Hoodless about this too before I even hit record on this video. Arguing with the FGC is pointless. Trying to convince people to play the game is pointless. If people is going to take other fighting games to die to get people to want to try DOA, because the reality is DOA is not going to be as popular as Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or any of the bigger fighting games, even on their best day. It's just not going to happen. I think instead of trying to focus on trying to convince the FGC or fighting game players or Tekken players that DOA is worth their time, I think we just need to focus more on trying to cultivate this fan base and try to figure out a way around this civil war that's kind of always been there but never really exploded like it could. Because every single time that you do make like a post like about the fan service or the fighting game portion, then it blows up, but then it calms down and quells almost immediately. I'm referring to the fighting game side and the vacation player side, bro. There's got to be some way to cultivate us both to unite and thread the needle between this, bro. Because DOA doesn't have that many people as it is already, bro. So this extra division is just so crazy. I get they're two different types of games, but there's got to be some way to put them both together and actually have a game that, you know, can at least have a cult core following. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say that DOA doesn't have a cult core following as it is. You know, I myself still play, and there's plenty of other people that play, and you can find the lobby. You can find the lobby every single day on DOA. I could get on DOA 6 right now and find the lobby. Matter of fact, let me see if I can prove that. as I said, there's always going to be people that's willing to give DOA their time, and they play this religiously every single day. And even on DOA 5 on console, you're going to find, I guarantee you're going to find at least like 5-6 lobbies. You know, people play this game, but it's like no matter what I say, the anime, or I almost said the anime FGC. The FGC, bro, they only want to act like the vacation games exist, bro. And they always want to act like DOA players don't play their games. We do play our games. We play our games all the time. If anything, DOA players are really just trying to get more people to play their game. And instead, they get shit on for it tremendously, repeatedly. Same thing for VF, too. Tekken players are going to do what they want. Tekken loyalists, I should say, are going to do what they want to do. And if they don't want to try new things, that's on them. And that's just kind of where I'm at with it. Because trying to show similarities, trying to show off things, trying to show different avenues on how DOA could be similar to other games, not only was I wrong about it, but now it's came back to backfire and slap me across my mouth. And for that, I have to take accountability. I have to apologize for that. My bad. I did not know that Tekken was going to branch off to be its own thing. But not only just Shimbori, who, by the way, like I already said, only really focused on the stage interactions and stage stuff, wasn't a direct hand in the current development of the game in terms of frame data and moves and all this other stuff with the game design, but also has Soul Calibur people up in there as well. And I feel like Tekken players are just at a point where they're just blaming everybody besides themselves. Because let's not get it twisted. Tekken players ask for a lot of this shit. If y'all wanted to make changes, y'all should have asked for changes from the beginning, because the writing was already on the wall. But because Tekken was the latest and the greatest thing, y'all didn't listen. Y'all just played the game, gave them y'all money, gave them more money and more money, and now Tekken got confident. They got cocky. And they said, hey, we got all the money we want, we can do whatever we want. Let's get experimental. Drop season 2. Anyway, get in the comment box, let me know how you guys feeling about that, man. Again, had I known this was going to become a rude awakening that has been for me, I probably would have never uploaded this. I'm not gonna hold you, because now DOA is once again the spit underneath other fighting games boots, and that's just something that I hate it. I really do. I really hate it. It's partially, and I guess you could say it's partially why I feel as bitter as I do, because yeah, we can always play the game because, hey, it's a game we enjoy, it's a game we like. At the end of the day, everybody's just gonna sit back and just try to play Tekken. Everybody's gonna try to play every other fighting game, and the moment you try to come up there with some DOA, you get looked at like you're some sort of fucking super villain. And this is just another reason to add fuel to that fire. And for that, I apologize. All that being said, man, leave a like, comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff, man. As always, subscribe for some more from the Golden Ghost Cartel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.